we can do that. Now, on to the first speaker then. You need to give them a big cheer. This is a rough guide to Wakefield Kirkgate by Sharon Shephard. Where's Sharon?
Oh, I'm not Susan, by the way. Oh, God. I'll be Susan for an evening.
A rough guide to... That doesn't work at all.
You're Susan, but
Please don't say I look like Matthew Kelly. Sharon is a graphic designer who has worked in arts development and business support for the last 15 years with the Design Council, Yorkshire Arts and Arts Council England. She has a particular interest in advocating eco-friendly ways of working in the creative sector. Shush! Ways of working in the creative sector, and now, honestly, you're running it, and now works for, for an environmental consultancy. Very nice. It's horrible when you can't see what's going on behind. I looked round, my name was there a minute ago. I know. What? Sharon lives in Wakefield, I suppose it's appropriate really, and enjoys photography, Girl Geek dinners. I've been to one. They're scary things, but there's good lasagna. And graffiti knitting. No idea. And she's also learning to play the ukulele. Ladies and gentlemen, she deserves a big hand. Your first speaker, Sharon Shephard! That side, please.
Right. We're off. Yeah, so thank you for the introduction. I'm Susan, or Sharon, for your entertainment this evening. I've lived in Wakefield since the mid-70s, but I wanted to give you an introduction to how I came to live in Wakefield. This, back in the black and white days, my son refers to any photos of me as in my childhood as the black and white days because nothing's in colour. I was born in Leeds. I was actually born just along Tong Road, and if you notice this black and white stripy line, that's the railway line down the back of the house. Circa 1966, which was about the time that I arrived, and this is what Wakefield Kirkgate looked like. It's a bit more magnificent than what it is today, because I would imagine that most people have actually seen it today. I had a house move and a school move. You'll notice these dotted lines are appearing again. I moved to Wakefield, to the outskirts of Wakefield, between two railway lines, believe it or not. So a lot of my waking hours, sleeping hours, whatever hours, were to do with railways. The first time I actually ever travelled from Wakefield Kirkgate, it was a big moment in my life. I was actually at school in Crofton, and it was a major event. I went to see Adam in Leeds. It was at Queen's Hall. It was the highlight of my school time. Sadly, Queen's Hall is no more. I've actually remembered the date. Since then, a lot has happened, a lot of changes. But I now live in Ossett. Dotted lines, you'll notice them again. They're still there, just can't escape from railways at all. They just keep creeping back in, so I don't know what. Maybe I ought to live on a railway. This will probably be familiar to a lot of you. It's the entrance to our lovely Wakefield Kirkgate. It's not the most interesting of entrances if you're actually leaving Wakefield to get out to anywhere else other than Wakefield. The other side is even worse. It is the most disgusting arrival into Wakefield. And a lot of people just don't want to get off the train, and I don't blame them. So you could just say, I am not in any way getting off to that. There is the promise of money to make it a bit more pleasurable. I'll believe it when I see it. There's been talk about it for a long, long time, but it is grim. It basically it's had the stuff been knocked out of it, and it needs a bit more care and attention. I had a lot of fun trawling through Twitter to try and find out what people thought about Kirkgate, and it was fantastic. Some of my favourite ones. People are at Wakefield Kirkgate, but I'm still not getting off. And that one, oh sorry, it's moved on. There is one, back in Wakefield Kirkgate, made it out alive yesterday, seriously lowering my chances of doing it again. Oh, this one about the lack of announcements. Yeah, it does, it affects everybody. And this is quite quite nice. Apparently Wakefield Kirkgate's not the worst, Gainsborough's. But we have got 2 stations, and people will probably remember this very nice installation by Charles Quick. It was illuminated on an evening. It was a very nice welcome into Wakefield, but basically it wasn't maintained, and it did fall into disrepair. That's yesterday, which is a real shame. And there is a lot that could actually be done with that as a welcome into the city, and particularly because people remember how it was before. It just seems a bit of a wasted opportunity. But there's a new waiting room, which is very, very nice. So going back to Wakefield Kirkgate, it actually, every time I go there, it makes me think about, well, what could we actually do? If money was no object, if you could kind of just, have a bit of fun, or just basically do anything, what could we do? I don't know whether anybody knows of this project. It's by an artist called Candy Chow. It's actually in New Orleans, but on these temporary blackboards, and people just write on what they want to do before they die. It's fabulous. So you can see here, it's just been put down the side. Maybe it's a civic building, I don't know. But you just get a sense of people pinning up their hopes, aspirations, whatever it is they want to do before D-Day. You can actually download a toolkit for that now. Another use of the station, make it into a bloody big bookshop. And this is Barter Books. It's the home of the original Keep Calm and Carry On poster. And they are marketing all sorts of products now, not just the poster. I think you could just do this for Wakefield Kirkgate. Bloody great big sheet. Yeah, it looks very, very nice. So we could just wrap it up, and then when the refurbishment's done, we'll take the cover off and reveal a nice new station. But it's just like, have a bit of fun. This is a great thing to do. Memorable quotes, which I think actually came via John Popham. I think this is Councillor Tim Barnsley. Wakefield Kirkgate, I'd rather walk. I'm going to make that into a button badge. And this was at an event at Bean. It was like arriving into the arse end of Wakefield. I was glad when the train pulled out again. And that is it. Thank you very much.